Peace to the family. You're now on I Am Brother POLIGHT YouTube channel, and we have a special guest today, none other than the legend, Hollow the Don. And I mean, he has a lot of supporters. For those of you who may not know him, can you tell them where they can go just off the rip to patronize you? Because after they're impressed with you, of course, we need to make sure.
Patronize me?
That's right. They got to. I mean, I'm wearing the gear right now. I don't sell the shirts, you do, so I want them to know. I believe in the brand. For me, it's more than just a logo or saying, you feel me? To see the person behind it and the labor that you put forth.
Sure.
You know, to create the influential aspect that you have, then to put something powerful behind your influence, that means a lot to me, because we can't save everyone individually, but we can do it as a collective. So I support the narrative and I support the brand, because he can be pushing all sorts of other ideas, but you have this thing called loyalty over money. And on your social media, it says some people are so poor, all they have is money, something to that effect.
True.
Paraphrase it.
True.
So I want them to get to know you, those people that's on this particular platform. This is a whole nother demographic, though. We have a whole lot of hip hop fans and battle rap supporters and advocacy, of course. But where can they go first and foremost, so they can at least go back to the beginning? Where can they go to support you?
LOMclothing.com. LOM is the acronym for Loyalty Over Money. So just go to LOMclothing.com and tap in with your boy. Support the designs and check out what we got.
No doubt, no doubt. And what's your Instagram, just so they can notify you on Instagram?
Don Lennon, LOM.
Don Lennon, LON. What is the Don Lennon? Some people know you as Hollow the Don. Some people miss that important aspect of who you are.
Yeah. Don Lennon. It's just, you know, that's my I guess an alter ego, however y'all would want to break it down, but just my other side that speaks on more serious topics and stuff like that, and more serious about life. I feel like Hollow the Don is like goes hand in hand pretty much with, you know, getting high, battle rap. So Don Lennon is really the grown man.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So loyalty over money. This is your slogan. And it's dope how you did it with the money upside down. It looks like a fraction. Like this is the denominator. Where did you come up with this idea? At what point in your journey did you come up with the loyalty over money?
That idea is actually my dude that made it. He used to have a line at this time when he did it. He had a line with Victor Cruz. He got his own line called the Cousins brand. He just came up with that idea one day. Like he sent it to me. You know, I'm not behind that design.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Like loyalty is a way of life. This was one of the sayings when I was working with my people in London. They did the loyalty is a way of life. So I pretty much bring to the table, yo, what about this? Make this look like this, but I don't actually do the designs.
Oh, okay.
I mean? So I just bring the ideas most of the time.
Man, I'm rocking with it though. It looks good. Looks good. And I mean, we live in a world of symbolism, and there's billions of dollars pumped into branding and media persuasion. And so a lot of people are taking in information subconsciously without them even recognizing it. So it's good to have people walking these streets and seeing things like loyalty over money, whether they realize it or not, they're being impacted by that message.
Sure.
So now we go into you in battle rap. I gotta ask the obvious, not so obvious to those just getting put it on. But the obvious question many people have, especially already in the chat, is when is Hollow gonna do the next battle? Some even think you quit.
They think I quit? I'm not a quitter. I don't quit anything. Not a quitter. It just don't happen. All
right. So is there a reason why Hollow has not entered the ring? How long has it been? Has it been over a year?
It'll be a year in May. You know, I do one every year, so they expect one this year, which they're right. They should expect one. I try to get 2 a year, but if that's not possible, then that's not possible. But I'm open to doing 2 this year, but I got one for sure coming up and lined up for them. So they should be ready for that. See me back.
They calling on Tay Rock versus Hollow right now. What's up, baby girl?
So, Daddy, I just want to, can I give it up?
Yeah, come on. I'm on live. Okay.
Hi. Everybody knows how much I love you.
No doubt, no doubt. Okay.
No, my friends wanted to use the pool, so
Nah, you good money.
just using the pool.
Do your thing, baby.
Okay.
All right. So I guess they saying the obvious. They got Lux Part 2 in the chat.
Part 2.
That's what they calling for in the chat. I seen about 4 of them in the chat. I see a lot of Tay Rocks there for whatever reason.
Yeah, they want to see that. They want to see that. Lux Part 2 is funny. You know, you gotta let classic be classic.
Yeah, it's true. That was a damn classic battle.
Yeah.
I was there. That was classic. Shit was perfect. Yeah, you might diminish the whole what took place or transpired that day. If you do a part 2, you might have to let that be.
Yeah, they gotta breathe a little bit longer.
Man, that was dope, man. That'd be great.
Breathe, people.
So I seen Tay Rock in there. They want you versus Mook. I see that a lot.
That part.
Every time I got somebody up here that's in battle rap, someone asks for Lux versus, they ask for Mook versus Hollow. Even when you're not here, they always ask for that.
That part, yeah, they want that.
Mook would be dope. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We can get that in. Hollow, right, leave that alone. So you got some people agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Got some people agreeing with you. That's what's up. So what I want to talk to you about is success, because though you haven't been doing the battles as consistent as people want to see you do the battles,
Mm-hmm.
the reality is you keep busy. I think some people may think that you just sit here and probably just wait for the next battle bag.
Of course they do.
And fall back like you're still spending the old battle bag money.
You know, some people stay in tune with their social medias and they know.
So in light of, you have a great deal of commercial success that people don't know about. What are some of the things you do outside of battle rap? I hate to marginalize you and call you a battle rapper as if that's what you do.
On us, but you know, I like to say entertainer. But like the reason I'm out here now is writing on a show called Drop the Mic, produced by James Corder's production company on TBS. So that's outside of battle rap. I'm writing on that show. I also got my nonprofit, my organization I founded. So you know, I do that work also. And,
what,
you know,
what kind of nonprofit you got going on? A lot of people don't know.
It's LOM Health. So pretty much right now we're just starting from the bottom. We're just doing the average work most people see get done as far as helping homeless and maybe underprivileged teens less fortunate. We linked up with the Covenant House, took like some teenagers to the Buccaneers game.
Dope.
It's based out in Florida, but yeah, so pretty much our long-term goal is to get a game room, have like a boys and girls club type thing going on. So yeah, we're just trying to help people in the streets. So LOM Help is the name of the nonprofit.
Somebody knows that. There you go.
Yeah. LOM Help. Yeah, we just came from Baltimore. Our next stop we're making is in Phoenix. We're gonna do stuff in Phoenix for a couple families. And then after that, you know, I'm back in Orlando.
So how do you balance that out? Because some people may say, isn't that a contradiction? How can you do good in the hood,
Mm-hmm.
but when you do battle rap, sometimes you have to throw a little gun bar in there and all that. How does that work?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a source of entertainment with battle rap. There's no excuse being made because I still know I'm affecting people, and that's why the content has to change. And it's not just me; it's amongst a lot of artists.
Makes
Content
sense.
has to change.
Makes sense. So there's a big issue in the community, several communities abroad, and the question is, what's a coon to you? I don't know if you use those terminologies much.
No, I don't use that.
Yeah, I don't use it, but there's terms like coon and sellouts, and that's normally directed at people who come from very rugged backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
or what we say the hood, and in light of their newly found success, they may move their family out, or, you know, not to say abandon the community, but they may say, hey, you know what? I'm trying to raise my children in more conducive environments. What is your take? Because I know you also get some flack from around the corner because
What is my
you
take?
diversify
Mhm.
and you're achieving in other ways other than just battle rap. Because I think some people just want you only in battle rap because that's who they become familiar with. What is your take on people such as yourself achieving commercial success? Like I know you was doing a movie here last time it came out. Last time you came out here last year, I know about that. And I know you're also doing some work for a show now. And it's not always exclusive to battle rap, as you got a bunch of different gifts. What is your take on the chastisement or ridicule or criticism of someone like yourself, who obviously comes from a rough background, did some time and everything? What do you say when people see you looking to transcend and do a lot better for your life? And they may criticize that that's not the direction you need to go in. You need to keep it real. You need to stay in the hood and just do by the hood. What's your take on that kind of perspective?
I honestly, don't have much of a take on what people say. I have more of a take on what I feel that I'm doing as far as leading by example and as far as showing people. Because what people say as far as their criticism, that's people's opinion. That's their perspective. They can't come around with me every day. It's like, what I just did in Baltimore. People say, oh, why would you film it? Why would you show what you're doing?
Do that. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if I say, yo, let's help the less fortunate, and I never showed it, people would be like, why you don't go do the shit? And then when I do show it, it's like, why are you showing you doing this shit? You should have, you know what I mean? So it's always going to be something to say, no matter what good you're doing. I just try to not focus on what people say as far as negative and focus on the positive, you know what I mean? So the criticism doesn't really get attention or much light in my life, you know what I mean? Because going back to the hood is a choice a person wants to make on their own. They're not obligated to do that, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you're repping a certain community or a certain area, you should go back, you know what I mean? But if you don't have the respect, you ain't been looking out, you shouldn't go back.
That's a fact.
That's the people that get robbed, Like you can't expect these people to be like, oh no, I'm gonna fuck with him and hold it down and not rob him just because he's a good person to the people he knows.
That's right.
If you're not a good person to the community or you're really helping out or then of course they're gonna come for you. Like a good way to put an analogy is they just robbed Fetty Wap.
Yeah, I was just thinking about him.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I don't know what he does in Patterson or whatever, but it can't be substantial enough where they don't feel like he's looking out, whatever the case may be. But would they have done that to J. Cole? He doesn't really put out that energy or that persona of being gangster or wear jewelry or flash shit or make people, you make people insecure and jealous when you do that.
Makes sense.
So,
makes sense.
They wouldn't do that to a J. Cole because he doesn't put out that energy. So he probably could go back to his hood and not get robbed. But a person that's flashing and not looking out, they're gonna rob you,
Makes sense. So tell the people some of your other talents though. What else do you do other than battle rap?
Shit.
I want them to get connected to.
I'm crazy with the backflips. You want me to do a backflip right now?
You know how to do backflips? No. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, let me move my lights and shit out the way.
But nah, I mean that's the main thing. I like to focus on is mastering stuff. So I mastered the battle rap. I'm trying to master. Excuse my language. Not trying.
That's
I'm
right.
trying to master my clothing line and these designs and get everything in order as far as the business structure. And that's really like my hobby is like getting into business and learning new stuff about business and new ways to market. So that's really like, I guess an extra talent you could call it, even though I don't believe in talent. I believe in hard work, dedication, gets you to where you need to be.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I know you definitely more than just a writer of the battle rap, but for those who's out there who never got a chance to really have the question answered, how do you go about writing those rhymes?
It's no answer. It's different formulas for different people. I'm sure boxers train different for different people. But you know, I guess, you know, the standard thing I could say is I definitely block out distractions as far as no going out, or, you know, all the distractions you can have in your life get blocked out. And, you know, I'll be up at like 3 in the morning, you know, might not go to sleep until like 8 in the morning. You know, I'm just walking around, you know, because I write them in my head. You know, I only put like ideas down. I put an idea down so I don't remember it. But as far as the 4 rounds, they just all in my head. So I just be walking, looking like a psycho in my house.
So I'm here wondering, when you're in the middle of a battle, and of course you guys have at least some kind of template or something that you're gonna follow for the most part to engage the battle.
Mm-hmm.
When do you decide, or when are you feeling comfortable? What makes you say, you know what, I may deviate a little from what I wrote
Mm-hmm.
to spit off the head? Because
Mm-hmm.
you do that quite often, which is
Sure.
probably that's the most sophisticated part of what you do.
Okay.
That has me impelled to your brand.
Okay.
The main reason I watch what you do, because I wait for when you do that
Yeah, I appreciate that.
out of the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
nowhere, and the shit makes sense and it sounds better than people's written. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
don't even make sense how he's doing this.
No,
When did you develop that, as a matter of fact, or how did you know, so to speak, when you had the juice? Because you got to know you got the juice, because you can't just go on the limb and say, I'm a freestyle in the middle of this shit. Because you take, even though niggas know that you're saying it off the top of your head, they still ain't gonna show you no love, make an error. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
They want it, but they want it to be perfect the first time it's delivered.
Of course.
You feel me? Especially on them smack stages. They ain't even trying to let you
No,
even cough in between without heckling.
you can't.
When did you decide, or when did you feel comfortable? Like around what year or what battle? Because I'm saying this, at some point or the other, you had to even shock yourself. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
So I can tell you when I started was I think the Hitman Holla battle in 2011 was the first time I did something. I done plenty of battles before that, but that's the first time I did something where I don't know how it's gonna go when I did the fake handshake. Because I'm like, he could not shake my hand and just leave me hanging, or he could do it quick and hit, you know. So I counted all like possibilities, but it also becomes for me a challenge. I feel like any person that's great at something challenges themselves. I'm sure LeBron is like, yo, let me see if I can score 30 tonight with all threes, or, you know, some weird challenge.
Dig it.
So I do that shit. Sometimes like I leave a bar or leave a space in my battle to challenge myself and be like, let me see what I'm gonna do here. Or let me think of it the day of. You know what I mean? So it would also be a surprise to me. I like watching like, oh shit, I wasn't gonna do that.
That's the next question. When you look back at your previous battles, do you cringe at your earlier battles? And that's not to say like you lost. That's to say, seeing how you've developed yourself.
Yeah.
So, and you come a long way. I think I've seen you in a pool hall or some shit like that one time battling over
Fight Club.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with you for the longest. You know what I mean? So do you look back all the way over there? You know what I'm saying? And
It's cringeworthy bars. It's cringeworthy. It's moments in there that could be cringeworthy. Like, damn, I said that. But it's not like it's whack. It's just like, sure, yeah. So, like, it's like, all right, I'm on another level now. That's why, you know, with a lot of battle rappers taking so many battles, I think, you know, they're wearing themselves out and they're not like excited no more, or they don't have that umph in them to do it because they've been doing it so much. While I still feel like, you know, I haven't even brought my best across. Some people are retiring, and I'm sure they feel like, oh, I gave it my all, and I'm like, I ain't giving my all. I'm still here, like, and I'm still coming up with fresh shit. So, you know.
So, what you think about props? When people bring props, do you think there's too much props now? Do you think that
as long as it's utilized right, you know? I mean, honestly, I can't even say that because the first, if not the first, like, well, I'm not the first because they've been doing battle rap for so long, but as far as in the new era to do like with the t-shirt, you know, antics type, like daylight type shit, like with the Hulk Hogan shit, the handshake with Hitman Holla, the money on Surf. So, you know, I've been doing that shit for a while. If it's done right, it could work. The only time I feel like if my shit didn't go over, it was like the money on Surf. Everything else from like the bringing out Calico's pops with Lux to the interview with Pat Stay, you know, it's like all this stuff is like stuff.
Now, how do you go about doing something like that, knowing you got to keep it on ice? Cause I know there's a lot of shit around that. Like, man,
yeah, that was crazy. We flew Calico's pops out on probably the day before the battle, and you know, I talked to Calico on the phone, you know, a few months prior, and he said he just got off the phone with his pops, and he told me he was getting out. And that's what like sparked the idea in my head. I'm like, he's getting out in January, and the battle's in January. This is meant to be. You know what I'm saying? So we flew him out and made that happen. You know what I mean?
That was a weird moment.
Yeah.
That was a weird moment. Like, I was trying to figure out, you know, like anybody else spectating, and I'm on the stage, I'm trying to figure out how does this energy go? Like, you know, is there a grudge? You know, with Calico and Lux, and then his father's out. Like, that was very strategic at the very least, because that shit just distracted me from a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm just like, now I'm in the soap opera. Like, yo, what the fuck did he just do? Your brain is like, how did he pull it off? Who made the phone calls? You know, who was comfortable enough to bring the idea? Did you ask Calico? Did Calico present to you? And I'm thinking a whole bunch of shit. Like,
I definitely brought the idea to the table. And I'm glad his pop was cool. Shout out Blackface. Yeah, glad he was cool about it.
That was some dope shit, man. That battle. There's a lot going on in that battle, man.
Sure.
Y'all know that shit was classic. Yeah, so I mean, that battle particularly, you and Lux, it was like both of you were saying things that I was connecting with. And I think that's what people struggle with the most. Normally, there's a good guy or bad guy. And depending on how many people like the bad guy, because definitely bad guys are loved in battle rap. And then there's the good guys, so to speak. But in that particular one, you know, Lux was doing his teaching like he do. But you were saying some real deep shit, like when a man is in prison and knowing that his friend died and you doing the time, like there's a lot of people, not just from the streets, that just in general can connect. So I feel like you connected so much that the slight or what people undermine is the fact you was also teaching in your capacity. People may not be able to appreciate it for what it was, but you did a lot of teaching, and particularly to the type of people who may not be receptive to the manner in which Lux may disseminate the information. Like, I was connecting with that because I went through similar things in my life, though. So I was like, the fact that y'all took the time out to embed that type of psychological warfare or even impart wisdom in
and
areas.
You got to enjoy it way more than most viewers, because most viewers could only see from one spectrum.
Yeah, the energy is crazy live. You know what I'm saying? The energy is real crazy live. And again, one of the spontaneous bars, I think you said something about Lux wearing a Michael Jackson jacket or pants or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Murphy pants.
Eddie Murphy pants. There you go. And you know, I was like, oh shit! I just actually happened to look at a classic Eddie Murphy.
Raw.
Yeah, where he was walking with the leather pants and everything. So you said it, the shit had me rolling, because my wife and I literally just looked at it like probably 4 or 5 days prior. So I'm like, what's the odds we just saw that? So we already connected. Like, oh, come on, man, come on, Hollow, take it easy. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out the gate with it. Come on.
So that shit. You know, and I'm telling you, what people got to say, this shit is like stand-up comedy.
For sure.
Because you could bomb, you could throw something out there and people don't feel it. So it'll make you not even want to try. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got the heart or the confidence, you know, or what one man can say and get off with, another man just couldn't, you know, give the next man the best of bars, and he wouldn't be able to be received by the people, you know? So how much of the battle rap presentation do you think is about charisma and cadence versus the actual boss?
It's a total package. It's like, you know, it's almost like obviously, like, it's more than just one element. You know, stage presence, delivery, bars, personals, freestyle jokes. You know, so many elements that you could throw into play. Obviously, the main things are bars and performance. You know, because that's what you know, draws the fan automatically. But, you know, when you layer the shit, like Lux is great at that. Immaculate, he's another person that's great at that. That layers their shit for certain, you know, type of fans or a certain group of audience. back, so they're catching everything rather than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely do that. Word.
You got all type of fans and all type of elements to this show. You can't really say one is the best. You know, obviously the bars, like I said, because that's what gravitates you, the bars, the performance. But there's a bunch of elements. Whoever could do all them elements good equals out.
How much times do you see nothing like the person who's on that stage battle rapping? Like right now, you're mellow, chilling,
Don't
relax. But then when you get on the stage, you're speaking so much more fluid and expansive. I mean, your rebuttals. So how much times do you get from people who actually get a chance to know you? Say, man, you seem totally different.
It happens. It happens. But you know, a lot of times they see like my interviews and shit. So then they kind of know the difference. You know what I mean? But on that stage, it brings a different animal out to its competitiveness. It's almost like, you know, seeing a football player that's super nice in person, but he's lighting niggas up on the field. Boom! And you're just like, you're an animal. But like, in that field, I'm an animal. Now,
we know battle rap that is just like fighting for the most part, where you can't really tell a person how to fight you, right? But when have you ever, or have you done battles where it's like, you know what, this shit might have to pop off? Like, have you been in scenarios where
before this area, for sure, where it has popped off, like before, like on camera battles, or when it was just like in New York going around battling? Hell yeah.
Oh, it was intense.
Yeah, it was intense, and then there was money on the line, or it'd be shit on the line where you could win and meet a CEO from, a artist from Def Jam, an A&R developer, some shit like that. You know, they used to have all them scams and shit. It was it'd be the nigga home. He like, yeah, from Atlantic, we got Toby right here, Toby. This nigga just have a name.
That's some funny shit, man. That's some funny stuff. So do you think it's toned down, or do you think it's even more aggressive now?
What?
Battle rap?
From when back then?
Like from back then to now, do you think it's more aggressive or less aggressive? Like when we look at the NBA, we say, damn, it's less aggressive.
Less aggressive. It's always less aggressive because, you know, generationally it changed. Like, they got softer. And it's not even, you know, the people. It's more, you know, what they're consuming, what they're eating and watching.
And what do you think about personals? Like the personal
I used to be all for it, but now I'm like, I don't know. You know, I'm still in the middle about that.
Okay. Or do you have something where you say, well, I don't touch that? Other cats go there. Like there's your mother doing my head, or there's, you know, like there's I'll have your son such and such. You know, I saw a Daylight one where he was going against Oops. It was a classic battle. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Daylight said something to the effect that God had no plan for him. Or we could see what God's plan was for him because he has cancer. And I'm like, yo, what? Damn. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying?
That's all in the territory.
I said, shit, man. What the fuck is going on?
I would have went probably even harder than that.
So it's really no real line because you don't know what to expect from the other party.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what you signed up for. You didn't sign up to be nice.
Have you ever kind of went backstage with another person you about to battle and y'all both kind of was under certain terms? Like, you know, we're not really going to do that. We're going to go ahead.
Well, like, that's one thing I don't like about the Hitman battle is we didn't say that, but we kind of had that understanding, like, without, you know, non-verbally. We just had that understanding. And, you know, that makes it kind of weaker. It's like, nah, you don't need to do that. So now I'm done with all that shit.
Gotta keep the gloves off.
Yeah, it's no time to be nice. We'll be nice like later.
So what do you say about people who say, man, we don't need black people going at each other like that in battle rap. We need it softer. What do you say about that?
Who said that?
Plenty. Well, there's probably some people here on this platform saying it.
Drink my tea.
He's sipping tea. Yeah. All right, we're gonna let him sip his tea on that one. You know, I'm doing my best to graft out of what people are asking right now online versus turn that down for me. Who's doing that?
Pop up.
I'm on live.
One time.
I'm like, yo, what the club?
We're live.
All right.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hey, you give me a Beyond joint?
What?
Beyond. Batman Beyond.
I'm not coming back till 10.
I don't care. I'll meet you. I'll meet you. Don't try to be slick. Yeah, so polite is the conscious Vlad. I don't even know if I'm offended.
Oh shit.
I don't know. Okay, let's see. Niggas do tabloid gossip battle rap now. Go through your trash and find your first grade. Get the fuck out of here. Get the info. That's fed shit. Science or whack MCs. So you see, someone thinks that's some fed shit doing research on the person you battling.
Oh, we don't do research. I've never done research. It's like it either comes to me or I already know it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to like, what research would I do? Call somebody's homie or call where they from and be like,
tell me the dirt.
Yeah, I don't like, you already know the stuff. So it's just like, that's one thing I don't like about battle rap. Like when you chilling with people, you don't know
niggas
they're
is
the type
always
of person.
probably recording some shit secretly.
Like they could be just building information around you.
Building the case.
Yeah, niggas be building the
like,
case.
damn, you on some phony stuff.
Niggas really be building the case out here.
A dude, did he think he won the Joe Budden battle? That's a question. Do you think he won the Joe Budden battle?
It was judged. I did win. It was judged. I won. It had judges.
Who were the judges?
I think Royce the 5'9", Ebro, and somebody else. But I won that with my worst performance, or one of my worst performances.
And do you think it was the environment that made an effect on your performance? Because it seemed like a lot of people in battle rap responded differently to that environment.
I guess you could say it was my environment because it was the platform and the people that was doing it made me alter my material and not really do what I would normally do. But yeah, it was a list of reasons I could go down why that Joe Budden battle didn't come out how it was supposed to. But the you know, I put on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, follow the Dawn LOM on YouTube. I got a video on there explaining like why I purposely felt. You know what I'm saying? I knew I didn't want to give my best performance, and I didn't want this show to be successful and Total Squad to be successful. But one thing I do is you got to understand everything is done for a list of reasons. It's not just one reason why I make a move. It's always several reasons for making a move. You know, an environment, like I said, could have been one of the reasons that I just subconsciously didn't know and never acknowledged, but in my head.
So what's one reason you consider it to be your worst performance?
I give a reason besides the one on my channel, because I gave, like I did a whole video about it on my channel, and in my first round I explained it. But another reason is just because at the end of the day, they weren't for the best interest of battle rap to go on in the future period. Like they weren't looking out for other battlers. Besides the complaints I had about myself, dudes that wasn't the main event like me, Mook, Lux, Joe Budden, they was getting paid chicken scratching. You know what I mean? So
on a huge platform.
Yeah. So it just wasn't the best look for
it. Just took the spirit.
I think they would have turned it into a label, like how labels, you know, pay their artists. The artists could sell 1 million records for $15. That's $15 million. And the artist gets 60 cents off a record, ends up with 600,000 or 15 million.
It sounds about right. It sounds right. I understand what you're saying. Someone said, what was your toughest battle?
Averb in St. Louis.
Oh, word.
And Loaded Lux.
Averb. Shout out to Averb. Yeah. I know he wanted Loaded. He always calling out Loaded.
Yeah, Verb definitely gave me a challenge in St. Louis. It was difficult.
That's what's up. And that's a good question right now about to come.
Okay. So be nice.
When you not at the home court, you don't got that home court. You know, I consider New York also a home court for you. You know, people embrace you in New York. You know what I'm saying? But that had to be Averb's territory for the most part, correct?
Sure.
Now, how is it? Was it contentious walking into there, or like was it a little drama kind of peaking?
Yeah. Like,
what is the spirit like when you go into someone else's territory?
Yeah, it's different now because battle rap is so like worldwide now, and mainstream accepted now, so it's different now.
Conditions has changed.
Yeah, but back then that was what, 09?
You guys are like Jordan on the 90s team and shit.
Exactly.
With no hand checking and all that shit.
Some niggas didn't fuck them New York niggas, and we me and Rich Dollar was looking like, word?
It's
So
like
they
that.
understood. Yeah, they not understood. So we came there, held it down. Didn't nobody like get super out of pocket. Like they was screaming that from the crowd and shit. But
Yeah, so I imagine that's pretty intense.
yeah, nah, it was. It definitely was because we didn't know if it was gonna turn into something else after the battle. You know, we came out
And
there.
you don't bite your tongue.
Yeah, well, at that point, I had to. Like, look, I don't know
It
you
is what
rich.
it is.
Yeah, it's about 60 niggas in here. I ain't stupid. Look, I ain't got shit to say. Until a nigga touch me, I ain't acting wild. If a nigga touch me, I'm gonna have to. There's no choice.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's like, but words, I'm gonna let slide here. Nigga ain't trying to get his ass whooped.
You already know that home court advantage.
Yeah.
Home court advantage. Yeah, that was pretty dope. So you said Loaded Lux and Averb, toughest competitors. Who you think, I gotta ask you this, who you think you just wiped the floor with? Just washed up? Who probably even talked too much before they even got in the damn ring and was a disappointment? Because I imagine you won a good battle. Because it's classic when both parties show up. You know, who do you feel like didn't meet to the expectations? You don't even have to say washed up, but who you think disappointed the fan base, or even you?
Battle?
Yeah.
The Joe Budden's battle.
The Joe Budden's battle.
Yeah.
You thought Joe was gonna come with a little more?
Oh no. Okay, right. Let me stick to your question. Probably. This was a long time ago though. I was gonna say the El Mac battle. This was on grind time. But yeah, he got watched by me and conceded that night. So he battled both of us like he was overconfident. I'm thinking this it had to be. You're battling two dope ass people in one night. And I'm thinking like, all right, he must have some crazy shit. You know, and it just wasn't. It was just overconfidence.
Do you think the Arsenal battle is up for debate?
They asked you that, or you asking me that?
Somebody asked that.
You ain't gotta ask me every question they ask me. Let's move on to some serious shit now. Let's talk about some young battle rap.
Yeah, we had to get those in for the fan base. Cause they in here. They talking that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But what's the last question? I think Arsenal was up for debate. No, I thought he got the first two rounds and I got the third round. So, you know, I think he got it 2-1.
You think he got it 2-1?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, it was obviously trickery done and bullshit done. Why he got it?
In what manner?
They switched my opponent. I was supposed to be battling Remedy.
Oh shit!
And then it was him versus Young Ill, and they switched me to Young Ill. Like I just didn't know what was going on. There was no clarification for me who I was battling and that I was battling twice. I didn't know I had to battle twice that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so tell me this. Somebody wants to know international support, Peace, Polite, and Hollow. Somebody wants to know what's some upcoming rappers that you or battle rappers you listening to? Like who you think is looking good? Like they're gonna have a career in this?
I like New Jersey Twerk is dope. He's a dude on URL. I like a dude named PC. That's pretty dope. I think he's on both them Battle League. Rum Nitty, of course. I don't even consider him new, but I throw him in there. He's bananas from Phoenix.
Thanks, baby.
Shout out to MHO. Thank you. Shout out MHO. Yeah, it's a lot of dudes coming up. You know, that's nice. You know, I watch a lot of kids.
Some wrote, why Hollow say he can't make music?
I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I was half-assing it. I wasn't putting my all into it. So, you know, I stopped doing it. So if I dedicated myself to it, I could make music, but I haven't dedicated myself to it in a very long time, and I was just half-assing. And I think, you know, a lot of people do that. So
here we go. Gotta ask another question. We transitioning out. Rap in general. This is phenomena that we have coined as mumble rap. Are you a fan of mumble rap?
What's considered mumble rap?
I believe, I think they consider Yachty, Uzi Vert, the new era. Maybe some of them don't necessarily mumble, but
no, I mean I know the artists they consider mumble rap. I just don't know like what. I don't know. I don't really listen to too much of nobody. I'm more listening to some Zig Ziglar, Les Brown. I'm on some motivational shit right now. I need to listen to something that's gonna inspire me in real life. You know, the only album I might listen to is like J. Cole or Drake. But I don't be listening to albums. I don't listen to mixtapes. I don't.
Dude, have you ever gotten to one of those Drake arguments? Like, nigga, you listen to Drake?
Nah, because I'll listen to it enough to even get in the argument. They like I got like
those
my
arguments
shelf
exist
there with a poster above it and shit like. But because like I said, I don't listen to that much music like I used to. But yeah, I would definitely not have a problem saying I listen to Drake because I clearly do. And I fucks with Drake.
Okay, question. If we had to get your top 5 rappers, and to make it easier, we're not going to include the deceased.
3D Nachi is ill. I seen that. Shout out 3D Nachi. She's nice.
No doubt. I told you they in here. If you had to pick your top 5 living rappers, legends, who would it be?
Living.
To make it easier.
We got Eminem.
Eminem?
I said Eminem.
It sounds like 2 M's.
Yeah, I'm high as hell. But we saying rapper. It's not like just lyricists, just overall rapper. We got Jay-Z.
Cactus family, Cactus. Because they're gonna ask what I'm eating.
Damn, this shit ain't easy. This nigga asked me it hard. Good thing you asked me that question. You probably could finish your meal by the time I figure this shit out. God damn. That's hard to do.
Definitely with the Jay-Z.
Okay, Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas. I mean, you know, I rounded off with Lil Wayne and Drake. I can't think of nothing else.
You think Drake is one of the top rappers?
He's clearly the top rapper now, but we're talking ever?
Nah. You just top rappers.
Okay, if we're talking ever, I'm like, I gotta put like Rakim in there.
You know.
If we ain't talking ever, if we talking like 2000 and on, yeah, MJ, Nas, you know, you could say Kendrick and Lil Wayne.
So now, this is sorrow, family. It's not blueberry juice. This shit is not even blue. It's sorrow. All right. Are you gonna offer Hollow some food? Yeah, we've been there. Come on, cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out.
Man, you tripping. Let's see. Hollow, who is the wackest battle rapper? I'm not gonna ask him to do that. You know, Lil Wayne is a bum. All right, we ain't gonna do that. Okay, so we gonna move on. I see y'all out of gas. Y'all ain't really giving me. See, y'all gonna ask me questions when I got somebody else here, and we don't want to do that. And show us the blueberry juice. I don't got no blueberry juice. This is sorrow. What's up? So we're gonna go back to where we started and close out, and that would be. What would be your suggestion to people from the hood as far as opportunity is concerned? Should they move out the hood when opportunity comes, or should they stay living in the hood and also just pursue the opportunity? Can the two exist? And what do you suggest?
I mean, for sure that, like, I pretty much touched on that earlier. The two can exist if you're the type of person that doesn't flash, doesn't show off, you know, because obviously you can do what you want with your money as a grown man, but you gotta know in your mind that breeds jealousy and envy. I used to wear jewelry, and you know, when you wear jewelry, you always got that paranoia if you go in a neighborhood you don't know, damn, they're gonna rob you. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're giving back, if you're out there blessing people, giving people jobs, helping the kids, doing fundraisers, for them to rob you or do anything crazy while you're in the hood, they'll be an idiot. Niggas from the hood will wash them, and you won't even have to do it.
That's
you know, but if you're not going back and you just on Instagram showing off money and cars, and then you pop up a year later and go back, like what you expect? You know what I mean? So I definitely think it's your choice whether you want to move out the hood or not. But you know, if you choose to move out the hood, you should stop rapping about the hood and stop acting like, you know, you can't move out the hood and be like, it's South Central, bitch, and all on videos. And it's like, no, it's not South Central, brother. It's actually Calabasas now. And that's how you should keep it. So,
do you think it's fair that a person from a neighborhood doesn't have the right to come back into their neighborhood with the finer things? Like wearing a chain or...
It's not fair. It's not. Because like I said, they're a grown person. They should be able to do that. But the conditions we grew up in and the shit we're watching makes that not possible.
Okay.
Not with a free, like, oh, I'm good. I'm a 2 rollies on. I know ain't nothing going to happen. You know, you're never going to have that feeling as long as we're in a world where they show you people shooting, and then when it's a robbery, it's on this channel and World Star and this people, and they're all glorifying it. You know what I mean?
So what do we suggest to the people in the hood? Because there's obviously, I'm not gonna say it's obviously a lot of failures. What I'm gonna say is it's obviously a lot of people not making it out who want to leave.
It's meant to. It's meant to.
So what can you suggest to them? Everybody's not going to be a battle rapper like you. Or, and if they do, they're not going to succeed like you succeeded. You know, you're at a point where you don't have to do it for a living per se. You decided, hey, I'm going to give you one for the year. You know, everyone's not in that position. Some people may not be overextending themselves, but they may even be diminishing their brand by doing so many a year, but they may have to do that much because that may be their bread and butter. You know, what kind of advice can you give to somebody aspiring to leave the conditions? Maybe want to come back and help the community, but of course they got to help themselves first. Sure. Mm-hmm. What kind of advice can you give to those people who probably are on the brink of quitting?
It's so much advice I could give to them because it's just so many different ways to look at life. Everything is all on your perspective. If you find joy out of the small things in life, you'll realize, oh shit, me living in the projects is better than me living in a hut out in Sudan, where them motherfuckers walk 3 miles just to get a bucket of water, or you know, whatever.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or me living over here in this beat down ass house with roaches is better than me being in solitary confinement and charged for a murder I didn't commit. You know, so if they just find the joy out of the little stuff they got in life, they got to understand this shit is just monetary and things they're chasing. We're just chasing things. To a better house, a better car, money, shoes. It's just things we're chasing. You know what I mean? So if your mental, if you could find a way to be happy within your own mental and your own bubble of life where you're living in, that shit won't even matter if you get out the hood or not. You'll just be enjoying your life and how it's set.
Do you agree with this comment here? If you move out the hood, you shouldn't brag about being from the hood or saying hood stuff anymore. It's like an old grandpa saying what he used to do all the time. Do you agree that if
that's his perspective, you know what I mean? That's like really how he would move, you know what I'm saying? If he was from the hood and moved, I don't know if he is, but if he was from the hood and moved out, that's how he would move. So it's not wrong if a person doesn't move like him. That's his perspective. But do I personally agree with it? I honestly agree with like whatever a person feels happy with. If a person feels like I moved out of Brooklyn, but I like to say, yo, I'm from Brooklyn because I'm proud and I'm really like patriotic about where I'm from.
That's a fact.
Yeah, like I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see a problem with that. But when you're claiming it for street cred and going back there to look tough and show off and you're not really helping out or doing, then I have a problem because now you're just using this place as a way to make money and benefit off of it, but you're not giving back.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Do you got any books out? Or have you ever thought about putting out a book? You got a great perspective. I'm listening to you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought about putting out a book on loyalty over money. I want to put out a book on loyalty, period, because I think loyalty is much deeper than people think. You know, well, I know it's deeper than people think. So I definitely want to put a book out on that because, you know, so many people are loyal and they get hurt and they got to understand the most loyal people do get hurt. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to put a book out on that. I ain't gonna ramble on.
No doubt. Do you think New York artists fell off? Or do you just think it's a change in era?
Niggas is loopy right now. What is that? Right now they asking that question?
That's what they asking.
You got A Boogie, you got Don Q, Dave East,
Yeah.
you got Casanova, you got I could keep going. And you got niggas that ain't new that's still nice, like a nigga like Graf, and I could keep Corey Guns, I could keep going. Like, nah, niggas is loopy.
All right. So
yeah, I mean,
that's
3-4 years ago, I felt like it looked crazy. You only had French Montana and ASAP, but 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? A lot of people that's from New York, people don't even know they're from New York.
What you? Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think Waka Flocka's from New York.
From Milwaukee.
There's one of the new guys. It may be Kodak or one of them other brothers, young, but nah, it's a new guy, not Kodak. But a lot of these guys, I'm finding out from New York, but they got like the Tupac type of vibe.
Shout out my dude Shire the Kid. He just signed Cash Money. He originally from New York, but he moved to Atlanta for a while more.
Yeah, and they blend in.
Yeah, and that's like I'm the originator of that. I'm taking credit for everything this time.
The originator what? What's going on?
Of a New York nigga going down south and mixing them both and blending it. I had NY to Houston in 2006. Half of the shit was me rapping New York style, half of it was me rapping Houston style. Then ASAP Rocky blew up like 4 years later. Then French Montana came out like 2 years after that. And they started doing it. So I had that where, you know what I'm saying? Like a long time ago.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Being from Brooklyn myself, New York, I found I have greater opportunities after learning from the New York environment. It's as though I couldn't even succeed in that environment per se. But it was a catalyst nonetheless. I mean, I had a certain amount of success. Let me say it correctly so the homies don't look at me weird. I've achieved in New York, but it was like a limitation or a maturation date. But as I started going further and further away, I was more, I had more opportunity allotted to me the further I left home base. You feel me? And as I go all over the world, whether I'm in Florida, these almost everyone I'm bumping into, I'm from New York.
It has as much as it to do with you leaving New York per se, that you just leaving an environment that you're familiar with and having to change in a different environment?
Well, of course, the answer would be yes to both. I'll break it into percentage. I would say 70% of my success, I feel, came on account to the fact I left New York.
Okay.
30% is because I changed the environment.
Okay.
70% because I look at New York like Big Mama's house. You feel me? It's kind of like the conscious community as well. I look at them both the same way. Big Mama's house has a bunch of people who's not necessarily her children. You feel me? Some of them are adopted. You know, they come from shelters. Some of them is her biological child, but she treat them all the same. She loved them all the same. You feel me? And then what happens is most of them get stuck living in Big Mama's house. They're gonna be there till Big Mama die. You feel what I'm saying? They're gonna be taking the juice out the fridge. They're gonna be using up the heat, and Mama's gonna pay. But those who actually leave Big Mama's house, they learn from being in that environment that's overcrowded, but filled with a lot of love, but just a different type of love that people ain't used to because it's so crowded. So they have to share resources. You feel what I'm saying? Fight amongst each other. But when they leave, they grow more fond of the people that they were with when they go away. And so because New York is a very unique city, the experience I had in New York, I would more likely not have had many other places. Yeah, they got hoods. Everyone got hoods. But that crowded city vibe, that project building, thousands of people living, the urine in the elevator, you know, it's easy to get kidnapped. Motherfucker, when you talking Brownsville houses, you feel me? Like, if you got to walk through the middle of the park, get to the elevator. If you made it to the elevator, you succeeded. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact, you know. You know, so to be able to live in that, when I left, it was like this burden I was relieved of this burden. and I can focus on other things because I had to focus on staying alive so much from where I was at. Now, I know people live in hoods like that. I'm just saying that the matrix of New York has me in a certain way that everyone's competing. The price of living is so high. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I went to Georgia, what they was calling apartments is what I call a house because I live in New York. You feel me? So they was like, this is $600. I'm like, $600 for a house? Crazy. They're like, no, this is an apartment. I'm like, but the shit got the triangle on top. It's a house where I'm from. We live in projects. So y'all calling apartments of houses. I'm calling houses apartments. There's a disconnect. And as I kept going to different cities, I'm like, yo, shit is cheaper everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like storefronts, when I started doing my bookstores, I'm like, I had a storefront in Philly for $350 a month. New York wanted 3 months rent, 1 month security up front. So I had to have 5 figures. You feel what I'm saying? Over 15 bands just to get where I had to go. And the stores asked me to pay for sewage, like I own the building and pay for the light and everything. So New York needs it though. So I'm saying that competitive hustle, like if I'm selling socks on the street, it's like 5 other cats still selling socks on the street, and whoever's walking down that block is going to just pick. You have to do more than sell socks at that point. So yeah, it's so competitive, but if you keep competing, you ain't really going to go but so far in New York because it's so competitive. So many people doing the same thing. But if you leave, everybody is not moving as fast, in my opinion. You feel me?
And bringing new hustles.
Exactly, and a new energy dynamic. I'm like, oh, no, when I was selling, what I was selling at one point could have got me killed. So I had to establish myself credibly to even be in a position to sell. And where I come from, the Ville, I had to join the gang to be able to sell because it wasn't moving through the neighborhood no other way. You feel what I'm saying? So the process that you go through to establish yourself as a legal or illegal entrepreneur, both of which I've done. When I got into a new setting, that edified me in ways where other people kind of like dragging their feet towards their success. I'm like a beast. I see an opportunity, I'm going in. You gave me one writing opportunity, I'm finishing the book in a week and 2 days. And people don't understand it. But I'm like, yo, I come from a place, if it was about writing a book, probably 12 niggas was writing the same book towards the same venue. You feel me? If it's about selling a t-shirt, 20 niggas is selling the same t-shirt. If it's about selling DVDs, the Africans gonna chew us out and they gonna sell them shit for 50 cents while we trying to sell them for $1. You feel me?
Doggy dog world.
So, and you had to learn how to still pay your bills. Try to manage to have a relationship. You know, try to buy some clothes so people don't make fun of you. You feel me? So these were priorities, even though we didn't need the flashy clothes. It was priority, like this is the culture. So when you leave, oh shit, people ain't interested in clothes like that. Oh, word? Like I could get all of that out of my head and then I could even reestablish it and move at my own pace. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like 70% of my success, I credit it to being from New York and leaving. I had to be from it because it built me to hustle. It built me to grind. It gave me a more proficient rate at which I can be in a competitive market and see things differently. You know, I can look at people out here in Cali and be like, oh man, y'all moving slow. You know, and that's no disrespect to the residents here. It's like people coming from out the country and looking at Americans like, yo, you American blacks, y'all ain't on it. And we probably be bitching like, look at these guys coming in here. Someone's just giving them the jobs. But they probably be like, nah, we could do 10 deep in the apartment and we can make it work. And then all 10 of us gonna wind up with our own house. Oh, shit. You feel what I'm saying? So someone from the outside coming in always got more profound perspective because they're not limited by the constraints or the rules of the environment. So they don't know the rules to even be part of the buying. You feel me? I knew the rules in New York, so I was part of the buying. You feel me? And that would work for a lot of people. That's why I said 30%, I would say leave. I think all people at some point they owe themselves an opportunity. They owe themselves the opportunity to leave. Because if nothing else, even if you stay where you at least leave temporarily to come back so you could bring something to the table that the eyes of that particular area, the eyes that's not indigenous to that area can't see. You know, like I've left. If I had to go back to New York, I would have perspective on what New York is missing. Because I see different types of stores for different reasons out here that I've never seen in New York. we know set up another laundromat, another hair salon. There's it was like 15 of them joints. You know what I mean? Then you step out and go to a different hood and see that one thing that your hood didn't have. Like, oh, yeah, we can do that. Or this chicken and waffle shit. I never heard of it until I left. I'm like, who the fuck's eating chicken with waffle?
Roscoe's, right? Yeah, like so
the shit is popping, and I remember it wasn't in New York. But somebody had to go down south or something and see chicken and waffles and say, I'm bringing that to New York. Because they left. Because I ain't grew up in no chicken and waffle era.
No.
And I wasn't always vegan. But I know when I went down south, then I seen when I went back to New York, there's some chicken and waffles. So I'm like, yeah, that ain't no New York shit.
Yeah, at all.
Somebody saw it with their eyes when they traveled. So that's what I think everybody needs to get into. They got to travel. And your perspective changes. And that's why I get the most flack for. Because my perspective changes because I chose not to try to control the change. Change is the one constant thing in the universe. So I grew up saying the white man's the devil and all that. I grew up because I came into platforms and into organizations that taught it. My father, before he left, he was a 5%er. So like I picked up all sorts of different, radical ideas. And I don't say that to be undermining. I'm saying it's radical because that's exactly what it is in contrast to what the popular belief is amongst most people.
Yeah.
So I came up learning all those different things and I got an appreciation for it. But I also understand a lot of the doctrine was precipitated by people's inability to travel. Now, I can't account for where people travel because some people will say, this one traveled here, this one traveled there. But when Malcolm traveled somewhere, he came back with new perspective. Mm-hmm. We like to give flack to him and say, we like the vintage Malcolm, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's Malcolm. And I love that Malcolm too. But I also appreciate the one that was able to venture out and come back and be honest and say, you know what, I got a new perspective of the world. You feel me? So I went to Egypt. I didn't experience what people would like to believe I would experience. When I went to Egypt, everybody was calling my wife and I royal family. They identified us as the people on the walls. We seen people with locks and waves on the walls. You feel what I'm saying? With our complexion, black, brown. You feel me? We seen them grafted, or we seen the darkest complexion into the lighter complexion on the walls. We seen this with our own eyes. The people weren't oblivious to it. In fact, in Egypt, the people were like, yo, we telling them this is big for us that y'all calling us gods. They Muslim and everything, but they call us gods, or they call us royal family, or Ahl Bayt, which means royal blood in Arabic. So they calling us all these terminologies. We like, yo, what is this really about? We call ourselves black. They like, oh, we don't want to call you that. Out here it's disrespectful. We rather call you Nubian, or you know what I'm saying? So like this is true facts. And I've been how Cali is big, and you could fly to Northern Cali. And it's 8 hours if you drive to Oakland from here. Same way as Egypt. It's real big. So I done been to both parts. Okay. I done been to Cairo, Cairo, Giza, Saqqara, Alexandria. Then I went down and went to Luxor, Karnak, Temple of Philae, Elephantine Island. I done been to Nubia, all these different places, right? So, and no matter what part of Egypt we went to, hours apart or minutes close, it was a consensus there that people were like, y'all are the ones on the walls, or yo, we got respect for y'all. No, we wouldn't call you black. That's what y'all call each other. We wouldn't call y'all that. That's like an offensive term. We would think we trying to offend you. I'm like, all right, this is interesting. I even taped it, recorded it, uploaded it. Like, yo, fam, this shit's crazy. Oh, you're gonna love it. Let me give you the link. Second we done. It's called Everybody Knows Who We Are Except for Us. And so they want to take pictures with us and everything. And Negroes is like, because they see us movie stars, like they name out Kevin Hart and everything. Like, I'm in the experience. Yeah, they talking about the people on the walls. They literally told us because we started asking. Yeah. So anyway, and also recognized this as the original blood, which we didn't expect. We thought they would be hassle. Wow. You feel what I'm saying? All of that is written there. All of that is written. So as we do this, I say, damn, I actually cried out there. My wife too, because we like, yo, police brutality at an all-time high in America. So we like, yo, what the fuck? We go to this humble country. It's almost third world, almost. Depending on what part of Egypt too. If you go to Cairo and shit, it's rougher than it is. Like, it's like they got their Miami version. If you're in Florida, then they got the Sarasota version if you up Northern Florida. So anyway, we go and we get embraced, and we just get overwhelmed with this energy. Like, yo, okay, we've been out here 6 days so far. We stayed there almost 2 weeks. And we've been in and out their hood everywhere. And it was like, yo, the people really embrace us because of how we look. And we stigmatized by so much racism here in America. We feel like the whole world is racist and fucked up against us. I'm not gonna say racism doesn't exist everywhere, but it's just like you get this stigma when you here in America and you don't travel. All fucking white people, Arabs, everybody's against black people. That's all you can feel. You feel what I'm saying? So we go there, we go to France, we done travel, my wife and I, so many places. And it's like, yo, I couldn't hold on to the shit I was taught, you know what I'm saying? But I got the right, but I understand both. Because like I said in my Black interview, the white man is the devil when it comes to being in prison. I met the devil in prison. Motherfuckers call you nigga and all that. I guess, yo, I remember Tupac did an interview like, yo, he was trying to tell someone the CEO called him a nigga. And people looking at him like, eh? You feel me? So I understand it, the relationship with the police and black people, especially in impoverished communities or destitute areas. It was hell in the hood. I'm totally anti-police when I was living in the hood for some obvious reasons and some not so obvious reasons, but they definitely gave everyone a hard time, whether he was doing something illegal or not. I'm not gonna say all white people, but damn near most of the ones I encountered that were police were horrible. So I get it. But what happens when you travel and you connect with, not just I did one vacation, like I went there on research, like most of my trips. What happens when you keep going different places around the world and people from different races and ethnicities and different religious backgrounds give it up? And you know it's not, oh, because he's a tourist, or you feel what I'm saying? There's no bias. You just go on, no one has to even know what the fuck you about. And you just drop in and see how the people respond to you. And they give you the shirt off their back because of whatever type of environmental circumstance they dealing with. What do? Do you still come back and tell the people, yeah, they the devil for the sake of keeping that shit up because you don't want to lose your audience? Or do you say, yo, you know what? This fucked up people in every race. You dig what I'm saying? I understand what historically what white people have done. I understand it. Like to a lot of people all over the world. But it still don't change the fact that people that I've been experiencing and encountering immediately have created different opportunities for me because they chose to, not because they had to, or just had great dialogue. You feel me? Like I've spoken to people who I believe the world would call racist, and I'm cool with them because they keep it 100 all the time. You feel me? They got their view, I got my view. You know, I don't want my children to marry white folks. I don't. I think we went through too much and lost our identity through rape. You feel me? And lost our identity on account of people disabling our ability to research and even destroying our libraries. I think we need to spend more intimate time amongst each other. That's how I feel personally. And some people say that's racist. That's how I feel personally. But at the same rate, I could appreciate another race saying, hey, we just only want to make children amongst each other. I don't think that means they hate me. I think that means they love themselves. But it's people's right perspective. So I just like it. But I just feel like we're in an era where we got to be more honest. You feel me? Like we just got to be honest. And we've been taking on other people's experiences and making them our very own. And that's not authentic. People think they authenticate themselves by preaching what somebody else said, but not realizing you got to experience it for yourself. You can't just be trying to conform to what the person said in the book or what you watch on YouTube. And then, yeah, that's what it is. No, you can't force what you would like to be my experience on me. No more than the shit you trying to impose on me, you probably ain't even experienced yourself. Like you be polite, you at them basketball games, courtside, our people dying. So I'm like, okay, who's stopping everything that they do every time a black man dies? I'm sure they going to the movies or they going to a club or they watch TV. There's plenty of things you should not be doing if that's the philosophy. Don't fucking enjoy shit on planet Earth because people are dying. I know they failing too. I ain't got the right to just say, you know what? I'm not gonna let this shit drive me crazy because I know a lot of the teachers that you don't see doing it is because they can't sit courtside. They can't go to the Grand Canyon like I just did and fucking land 5,000 feet and then go on private jet and come back home. They can't do that. I'm not supposed to deprive myself of that because you're gonna teach me about Egyptians and say that those are our ancestors and they was big on. I went to Egypt. They had rims before we even could think. We should accredit them for it.
Right.
Ramsey's chariot was gold-plated rims. The nigga was on a chariot with like 35s. That's how big the wheels are.
Damn.
Gold. You feel what I'm saying? And I got the pictures and the video. I'm like, these niggas had rims forever and rocking chains while he on the chariot. You feel me? With guards that had locks on their head. I'm like, yo. So then when you look at our behavior today, yeah, I say that shit, a lot of that is transgenerational. A lot of that is genetic. You feel me? Like the thing that compels us to say, yo, I want some jewels around my neck, or I want to get some spinners back in the day when the wheels used to, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. We ain't even really created in contemporary times. We just seeing the DNA resurface as far as the conscious aspect of our DNA. You feel what I'm saying? Like Black people ain't crazy out their mind. They behaving the same way they behaved 5,000 years ago. Come think about it. So for me to go there and see it in person, I just came to terms with the fact that, you know what? Some of us got peasant genes and some of us got royal genes. And in between that, there's other types of people. But it's like people want to push peasant DNA on me. I'm like, yo, I'm just different. Just like you have your perspective and you was intelligent enough to say, hey, you know what? That's that person's perspective without degrading them or disagreeing with them. You can appreciate the fact that that's that person's perspective. And I just ask people to appreciate the fact that every time I engage in new experience, I'm gonna subject myself to thinking. I'm gonna allow myself to say, you know what? Just like you say, you can look at some of your old battle and say that's cringeworthy because you evolved. But if you ain't evolved, you wouldn't even be able to say that. If you didn't evolve, you would just front before the people. Like everything you've been doing was on the bar at your criteria. You know what I'm saying? Or when I ask you your opinion on something or your perspective, you say, well, you know what? I'm not concerned with that. I'm concerned with this. Because you're talking about your world and the way you think. Because you was damned if you do, damned if you don't. And one of your perspectives. So it's the same thing I'm going through. I'm like, you know what? I've tried to be down with what everybody was talking about, but I can only be down so long as I'm living the same way with everybody, going nowhere every fucking year. I would be down. I understood what everyone was talking about. And that's why I was taught success is a different language. And so, you know how language is when you walk in a room and people start talking and they know you don't speak that language, but they still talking around you, you grow frustrated. You get paranoid. That's how success is.
You think people are getting you.
That's how success is. Success is a different language. So if you got two people here succeeding around people not succeeding, they grow paranoid. They feel like you're talking about them. They feel like you got something against them.
It's like people's own insecurity, though. That's what it boils down to. Because if people were, happy with what they had going on in life, or their life was filled with joy and always working, and they got their dreams that came true, like they wouldn't even have the energy to tell you you're doing something bad. Or
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, and we've all been at that point, no matter how successful you are, we've all been at that point of that person that was looking envious, like, well, I don't got that. You know what I mean? So it's all about once you achieve your dream or stuff you really want out of life and you feel a purpose, because everybody wants to feel a purpose out here.
Right.
Some people don't feel that purpose. They're working at a job where nobody give a fuck about them. They go home to the girl they fighting with. So, once they feel that purpose in life, that's when they don't feel the need to talk down on people or hate on people or be jealous. But some people that die never feeling that purpose. So, it's just the objective should be to really find a purpose in life and a reason why you feel secure and you feel like you're doing something right. So you don't look at somebody else with jealousy and hate,
That's a fact. Somebody just asked, how are you going in the direction of mainstream? Why or why not?
Oh, I'm just going in the direction of happiness. and that's what I'm focused on. Whether it's mainstream or not, I'm just trying to, stay forward, with my tunnel vision. And I think, like knowledge, happiness revolves around knowledge and understanding. Once you get an understanding of stuff, you don't really need shit you thought you used to need. Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
You used to think you need certain stuff to fulfill your life or to make you happy, and it's really not true.
You outgrow it. Yeah. And what I always teach is that people have to give themselves the opportunity to fulfill or fill those voids. Meaning, if you know something in your childhood still has a hold of you, if you get the ability, if you access the tools, resources, or monies to do so, engage it, burn it out so you can move forward and live your life. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people what I do is therapy, and everyone can't be administered the same therapy. We Africans of the diaspora, we all living out here, finding ourselves in light of our most recent history of being separated and abused. So we all gonna have, it's a traumatic experience that all of us take in but respond to differently. So my form of therapy can't be your form of therapy. Like, I'm not gonna treat the cancer patient with the same thing the AIDS patient got. We got different types of ailments from being in this position. So for me, like, again, when people say you act them court side games, you just, oh, it's my therapy. And they think I be bullshitting. Like, oh, the car you drive. No, it's my therapy. I'm responding to this shit differently. These are things that I was overwhelmed with when I was young. So much so I was willing to sell drugs to my people. You feel what I'm saying? To achieve these things, or to just come remotely close to just say, at least I got these shoes on my feet. You know, I was overwhelmed and possessed by those ideas. And I put that first over my people, or people in general. You feel what I'm saying? And so as I got more wiser, and as I went through my own life experiences into different worlds, I would say, through travel, I was able to come to terms with the right formula of what I need to also market myself to people who was thinking the way I was thinking. Because a lot of what I do now is to market myself to the people I want to reach intellectually, to raise them to a certain prestige and thought, so they can realize that they don't need the material acquisition of these things to establish who and what they are. Because a lot of these trinkets that we wear and like,
it's all temporary happiness. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's
the car, the money, the shit is, you know, temporary happiness.
We're using it as extensions of our personality because we lost sight of who and what we really are.
Sure.
So we think the chain demonstrates who and what we are, or the car demonstrates who and what we are. And we lose sight of self. And once you're walking around with a bunch of people who have no knowledge of self, they're destructive. You know what I'm saying? They can't keep relationships with people that they should be able to keep relationships with because they're not loyal to the people. They're loyal to everything else. So, you know, without getting too philosophical with y'all out here, you know, I got to thank my brother for even engaging in this conversation, not being fearful to show people how intelligent he is, because people are afraid to let people know, you know what, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Common sense.
That's a fact. You know, so I'm glad he's able to use this platform for those people who only know you as a battle rapper. I'm glad they get some insight that the brother is very intelligent and very, very positive at that.
Thank you.
And has a lot of great projects and programs that y'all should get involved with as he comes to a city near you. Again, he did that. He did a hell of a job, a heaven of a job, I like to say, in Baltimore. Of course, he's in Texas doing his thing out there. He's out here doing work here in California. And, you know, he never professed to be your prophet, your apostle, your guru. He's just a homie doing good where he see fit. That's within his capacity to do so. He never said he's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people like to marginalize people. You're either going to do all these philanthropic things or you're not.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like this, you have your recreational things you like to do or places you like to go. And people sometimes have a problem finding how you're able to indulge in whatever capacity you want in life while also doing positive by other people. They kind of try to take it from you. What do you say to that in a closing remark? Because some people expect you to be
That's my
perfect.
main thing of trying not to focus on that type of criticism and that type of negativity, because it's like, it's always going to be something to say. So I just focus on, I know where my heart is at. And as long as I know where my heart is at, I don't, you know, have a problem with what people say. If they feel like I'm not doing it for the right reasons, they feel like it's ulterior motive, that's cool with me. You know, but the people that it touched and may go do the same thing I'm doing, the people who I actually looked out for, that's what I focus on, right. Their reaction. And you know what I'm saying? So, and I also get something out of that. So that's why I'm doing it.
So Do you got any new music projects that's out?
I don't do music, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot the question that was put out there.
Yeah, I don't do music.
Because they gonna ask.
Clothing.com, man. Cop a shirt, show support, wait for the next battle. You want to hear some boys.
Yeah, we definitely looking forward to that next battle. You got some prospects in mind?
Yeah, you know, they already was naming them, the prospects.
Okay, dope.
Naming them early, those the prospects.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Can't wait. They said Jules was dropped. Okay, somebody asked. Okay, good. They said do what makes you happy. That's what's up. Can't worry about what people say. People gonna feel the way they want to. Yeah, very positive response from the people, man.
Okay, appreciate y'all, man. Unity, love, SOTG, Philly, all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
That's what's up, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Of course, you can go to IamBrotherPolIGHT.com. You can download the app, Brother Polite. That's an acronym. Pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. POLIGHT. Brother Polite. Download the app, Brother Polite, or you can follow me on Instagram at brother_POLIGHT. Brother_polite. Thank y'all for tuning in.
That was me.
You guys are the truth. Appreciate you. Salute, salute. Fire. Thanks, Joy. Good looking out. Glad y'all enjoyed it. Drop some bars right now. Ha. Come on, y'all.
I said, look. The dude, nah. He's like, damn.
I'm ready. Like, come on, man.
TMB, it's too many bars, man.
Let's get it, man. Thank y'all so much. Peace.
I should have gave him a quick 4.
You want to give him 4?
Are you still on?
Yeah, we still on.
I said, y'all got this shit twisted, contortionist. I'm tripping. I hate I had to resort to this. The clothes from a Calvin Klein order. My food made with alkaline water. Yeah, I'm illegal, but nah. I'm gonna leave it alone.
You about to go crazy. They're already saying bars.
TMB, it's too many bars, man.
Y'all later. Y'all got a little something. You get you something next time in the future. Peace. Lupu.